Right now, expanded eligibility. Millions of Wisconsinites are now able to get vaccinated. What you need to know to get your shot.
Plus, how a federal relief plan could end up causing you financial problems down the road.
And rainfall working its way into the 608 means a lot of that salt and sand is preparing to be washed out of our driveways. We'll have the latest in the First Warn forecast.
This is News 3 Now this morning.
Good morning, everybody. Monday, March 22nd. Thanks for joining us. I'm Chris Stanford.
We're glad to start our week with you. I'm Ncaa. Right now, 2 million more people are now eligible for the vaccine in Wisconsin.
Last week, DHS moved up its timeline for Group 1C from March 29th to March 22nd. According to Governor Evers, it was because vaccinations are moving faster than expected. However, just because Group 1C is now approved doesn't mean that they'll be able to get the vaccine right away. Public Health Madison and Dane County still has several thousand to get to in 1B. So they're encouraging people in 1C, the new group, to look to their healthcare provider or a local pharmacy for a shot.
The new group approved to start getting vaccinated today includes anyone 16 and older with an underlying health condition. There are 20 conditions included for eligibility right now. It ranges from heart conditions and asthma to cancer and diabetes, as well as those who are considered overweight. That means if you have a BMI or body mass index over 25, you are now eligible. We have a link showing you how to figure out your BMI and a list of all the other qualifying conditions over on channel3000.com. As more people become eligible today, our state has made quite a bit of progress already. More than a quarter of Wisconsinites have now received at least one dose of the vaccine. 14.7% of the state's population has both doses and is fully vaccinated.
For the U.S. as a whole, about 124 million doses of the vaccine have been administered. That's an increase of more than 3 million in the last 24 hours and a weekly average of 2.4 million doses a day. 44 million Americans have now been fully vaccinated, with 81 million having received at least one vaccine dose. Based on the current rate, it's estimated that half of the U.S. population would be at least partially vaccinated around mid-May. Breaking overnight, AstraZeneca says advanced trials of its vaccine show that the shot is 79% effective. That trial, in part, happened right here in Dane County at UW Health. 30,000 people participated in that trial, with 20,000 given the actual vaccine. AstraZeneca must now submit its findings to the FDA, where they will discuss whether to grant it an emergency use authorization. The shot has already been approved in more than 50 countries around the world. According to Reuters, AstraZeneca has roughly 30 million doses ready to distribute in the U.S. once its approval is met.
An update to a story we've been following. Unity Point Health Meritor nurses and the hospital system have agreed on a new 2-year contract, averting a possible strike. The agreement increases wages up to an hourly pay of $47. It also increases vacation and sick time for nurses who had said in negotiations they felt overworked during the pandemic. The new contract comes less than 2 days after the nurses had filed a lawsuit with the labor board accusing the hospital of violating rights and breaking federal labor law. A Meritor spokesperson says those allegations were untrue and without merit. If both sides hadn't reached an agreement, the nurses union had authorized a 10-day strike starting as soon as Tuesday.
The Badgers' run in the NCAA tournament has come to an end. Yesterday afternoon, Wisconsin lost to top-seeded Baylor. The Badgers didn't give up without a fight, though, cutting an 18-point deficit down to 7 3 times in the second half. Ultimately, though, they just couldn't get over the hump against another top-tier team. It was a tough loss, but head coach Greg Gard says his team still has a lot to be proud of.
I thanked them for all they've done for this program, going beyond basketball and beyond even this year, because that group of seniors obviously have been through a lot, and they've had great jubilation and some extreme trials.
All seniors have been granted an extra year of eligibility because of the pandemic. So far as which seniors, there are 7 on the roster this year for the Badgers. If any of them are coming back, Gard says he doesn't know and doesn't want to guess.
The Badgers may be out, but the madness continues. The round of 32 will wrap up today, deciding who will be in the Sweet 16 this weekend. Today's first game starts just after 11 this morning. The Iowa Hawkeyes take on the Oregon Ducks. You can watch that game right here on CBS if you can handle watching Iowa still in the tournament while we are out.
Yeah, going up against a 1 seed in the second round, that was going to be a tough hurdle to overcome. We had a lot of momentum going into that game, but just couldn't pull it off.
I think I can handle it. Ohio State's gone.
We can all agree on that. Our
Mr. Reese, you don't even have a bracket. You're doing fine.
No, I'm doing great. The only perfect bracket out there, the one that doesn't exist, apparently. But the reality is, no, UK was not in the tournament this year. So, of course, I was like, all right, I can cheer for the Badgers. But then neither was Louisville. WKU didn't make the tournament either. So we were happy to see Ohio State fall. Yeah. Along with the Tennessee Vols, all the teams that this Kentucky boy does not like. So our producer Jake is not happy with that one.
Yes, our Tennessee producer Jake, he did not appreciate that. Hey, we're glad you were cheering for the Badgers anyway.
Okay, doing what I can. We've got some red on this graphic for you, some Badger red for you. It's time to take action. We've been talking about that potential for a decent amount of rain to come our way into the upper Midwest, and you are now hours away from that happening. So if you didn't clear your gutters this weekend before that water moves through them, you could do it today, but you may have to fight some sprinkles before the true steady stuff starts to work its way on in, headed into Tuesday. Now, right now, winds are out of the south. That's pumping in all the moisture. This slow-moving cold front back towards the north and west, that's what's going to slowly begin to unzip that as multiple waves of low pressure ride to the north. In fact, it's around that area of low pressure where we see our steady showers and thunderstorms as of now. In the meantime, we remain dry here in southern Wisconsin, but we have that cloud cover. We're at 49 degrees right now. Winds are out of the south at 7 miles per hour. 50 in Janesville, Mineral Point at 52. Meanwhile, Watertown and Juneau are both at 47, 49 in the Dells. All these temperatures are part of a surge of some warmer air. So we are much warmer than we were yesterday, but we'll be cooler this afternoon as those clouds and the showers keep our afternoon highs into the upper 50s. It's still close to 60, but upper 50s is as good as it gets for today. Here we are at 4 o'clock. You see a couple of scattered showers, especially back towards the west. We see those scattered showers really linger throughout the overnight time frame, but what I really want to show you is what happens as we move into Tuesday. This is Tuesday at 4:30. Widespread soaking rains are right here over southern Wisconsin, and then by 11 o'clock, more showers and even thunderstorms start to move in from the south, and then we start to see the wraparound moisture as we move into Wednesday. Before all is said and done, we're talking about an inch or two of rainfall right here over southern Wisconsin, and ultimately that comes over the course of several days. So it's a lot of water that runs through your drains, but it doesn't have that chance to truly add up and lead to flooding issues. We dry out a little bit Thursday and Friday before we see another system move in towards the weekend. We're going to watch the timing on that one. That could end as a mix at night before we see a drier setup moving into next week. Ultimately, those temperatures, they all stayed into the 50s as well, so that's certainly some good news. Speaking of 50s, traffic speeds are not being interrupted on the Beltline, which has a speed limit of 55, by the way. And Stoughton Road's looking good as well. So is the interstate. All of Dane County in good shape this morning. Same can be said for our friends down at Janesville and Beloit.
Impressive segue there, sir.
I've been practicing the segue game.
I like that. Mr. Reese, thank you very much. 6:08 now. The CARES Act, passed by Congress last month, allowed many consumers to defer their payments on federally backed mortgages and student loans. But some banks and credit card companies have incorrectly reported those deferred payments as late. Consumer Reports investigates the problem. At the onset of the pandemic, the federal government offered a lifeline of sorts. Companies that offer federally backed loans, including student loans and mortgages, along with some credit cards and car loans, offered payment deferrals to some consumers who were struggling to make ends meet with no impact on their credit score. But instead of listing accounts as current, some companies reported those deferred payments as late, an error that can have lasting impacts on your credit.
Even a small error on your credit report can have a huge impact on your credit score. And in terms of trying to get credit cards, a mortgage, or a student loan, that can be the difference between getting a good rate, a bad rate, or no loan at all.
Credit reporting errors are common. One study found that 1 in 4 people have at least one error on their reports, and complaints to the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau about credit report errors have reached record levels.
This is a problem that existed long before the pandemic, but it's an even bigger deal today because so many people have been affected by the crisis.
So what can you do? Visit annualcreditreport.com to get your credit report from all 3 credit bureaus, Experian, Equifax, and TransUnion. Then, if you find an error, dispute it with each credit bureau. Do it in writing and send your letter and any supporting documents using certified mail. So after After you alert the credit bureaus of the errors, Consumer Report says it'll likely take at least 30 days to get an answer. So continue to check your report to confirm the errors have been fixed.
Pandemic air travel is surging. For the 10th straight day, the TSA reports more than 1 million people were screened at U.S. airports. Saturday, the U.S. saw more than 1.3 million passengers through airports nationwide, and a new one-day pandemic record was reached Friday with more than 1.4 million passengers. The surge comes as federal health officials still caution against travel. Well, some good news if you're longing for a vacation here. Cruises are coming back after a year at anchor. A major cruise liner planning to set sail from the Bahamas just in time for your summer vacation. Royal Caribbean marking its 2021 return with the cruises from the Bahamas set to depart in June. They're available only to adults who've been fully vaccinated and those under 18 who have been tested and have tested negative. You'll have to travel to the Bahamas, though, to get on the cruise ship. The CDC has not said when cruises can resume in the U.S.
6:10 now coming up. Jury selection continues today for Derek Chauvin's murder trial in Minnesota. What we know so far about who's on the panel.
And good morning, everyone. I'm Josh Breider live in the 608 this morning from Mount Horeb as this community comes together in support of Raina Williams. It's a follow-up story you won't want to miss when we come back.
We drive everywhere to help our son reach his dream of becoming an elite swimmer. So we enrolled in the Know Your Drive program with American Family Insurance. It gives us discounts for safe driving, which comes in handy, no matter where his dreams take him. With Know Your Drive, save up to 20% and get closer to your dreams.
American Family Insurance.
Insure carefully, dream fearlessly.
McGann Furniture in downtown Baraboo should probably be called McGann Furniture and Flooring because we're the area's oldest and most experienced floor covering store. Our friendly staff will explain the many types of flooring available, answer questions, and make suggestions so you can choose what's best for your home and lifestyle. We always offer free in-home measurements and estimates and use the finest installers in the entire area. And remember, at McGann's, we don't inflate prices only to mark them down for a sale. Stop in today and discover the difference. You'll be glad you did. McGann Furniture, downtown Baraboo.
Get the max out of your tax refund at iMart Express. With 2 pairs starting under $40, you'll spend less on the have-tos and keep more for the want-tos. Our prices won't break the bank. Your tax refund goes further at iMart Express.
Every child, no matter their zip code, should have access to a great public education. As a former teacher and superintendent, I know what it takes. I've led schools to high student achievement, I've expanded preschool, and I've balanced budgets. My opponent can't be trusted. She's backed by Scott Walker, and she tried to cover up a $500,000 financial scandal. Our kids deserve better. I'm Jill Underly. As state superintendent, I'll always do what's best for our kids.
Is your credit score getting in the way of the things you want to do? Personal loans through NetCredit offer fast and flexible lending. Borrow up to $10,000 and choose repayment terms that work for you. You may even be able to build your credit history as you repay. NetCredit, a more personal loan.
More Americans are growing their own vegetables than ever before. At Garden Mats, we're here to help people supplement their food supply with fresh, organic vegetables. Whether you are a beginner, novice, or master gardener, Garden Mats make gardening a breeze. Spend your summers trying to keep up with each other, not your weeds. Go to gardenmats.com and plan your garden today.
It's a fact. We use our internet and TV more than ever, with most of us spending nearly 7 hours a day online. So it's no wonder thousands of families are switching to Spectrum. Because most families have up to 8 connected devices, Spectrum Internet gives you the starting speeds you need. And when it comes to TV, we're watching more than ever. In fact, 80% of us watch TV every day. Spectrum TV lets you catch all your favorite sports, news, and more live. Switch to Spectrum Internet and TV from $44.99 a month each with no contracts. Call 833-984-4499.
6:13 now. Jury selection for the trial of former police officer Derek Chauvin will continue into its 3rd week today. A single juror was seated Friday, bringing the total now to 12 out of the 15 needed. According to the New York Times, the jury is made up so far of 7 women, 5 men. The jurors range in age from their 20s to their 60s. 4 members are black, 6 white, and 2 jurors identify as multiracial. The court has this week now to finish filling out the remaining seats before the trial begins next Monday.
The judge on the case is ruling that evidence from an unrelated interaction between George Floyd and other officers will be allowed in Chauvin's trial. That includes body camera footage from a 2019 arrest. The judge ruled it relevant because it shows Floyd in a similar situation to the 2020 arrest that resulted in his death. Chaven now facing 3 charges in all: second-degree unintentional murder, second-degree manslaughter, and third-degree murder. 6:15 now. Chris Reese keeping an eye on our first warn weather. Quite a few raindrops in the extended forecast, but that's not rain behind you, right?
No, this is not actually reaching the ground. What's happening is the radar is actually picking up on the moisture that's moving into the atmosphere. So whenever you see it in circles around the radar sites, it is not rain. We call that radar attenuation. But nonetheless, rainfall will gradually start to move in, especially this afternoon, but really as we get into Tuesday afternoon, the rain's going to pick up. 49 and cloudy out there now. Winds out of the south at 7. Monroe waking up at 46. Good morning to Platteville at 49. Good morning to Boscobel and Prairie du Chien. Both waking up at 52. Watertown and Juneau, good morning at 47. Here's what to expect, though, as we look throughout the day. By 10 o'clock, temperatures will be at 52. You see, we have this opportunity for temperatures to still fall another degree between now and 8 o'clock. We're at 56 by the time we get you towards noon. I expect our highs to top out around 58 as we move into this afternoon. Leah, some of us have the chance to be close to 60, but the rain chances really ramp up later tonight into tomorrow.
All right, Mr. Reese, thank you very much for tracking that. 6:16 now, a follow-up to a story that went viral a few weeks ago here in the 608. We first introduced you to Mount Horeb native Raina Williams, who's been dancing her way through breast cancer.
And this morning, Josh Breider is live in Mount Horeb with how the community is now giving back to her. Hey, Josh.
Hey guys, good morning. There's been so much talk on this story of positivity over the last couple of weeks. Raina Williams lives in northern Illinois with her family, but she's still proud to call Mount Horeb home. And this next story here in the 608 is exactly the reason why. Raina Williams can't believe how far her story has gone in such a short amount of time. I got the chance to catch up with the 35-year-old Wisconsin native over the phone.
It has just meant the world to me and my family.
Raina's been battling an aggressive form of breast cancer since last fall. It's how she's getting herself through it by dancing that's inspiring people across the country. But maybe most impressed,
and it just touched me,
are those at Mount Horeb Area School District, where she grew up. So 5th grade teacher and varsity dance coach Channing Liska came up with an idea.
I coach the team. The reason we dance is to bring smiles to people's faces, and I just wanted to do something.
The dance team creating this video in front of the high school in honor of Raina.
You have to have certain times in your life where you have to put on your fighting gloves, and I don't think they could have picked a better song.
Performing a remixed version of Fight Song by Rachel Platt.
I think the lyrics itself, you're fighting and never giving up, and that's exactly what she's doing, and she's proving that each time. She would go out there and conquer that chemotherapy appointment and come back just positive, and it would come through with her dancing.
It started with the dance team members who felt like they had a purpose again in the age of COVID-19.
This year, we haven't had a normal dance season with the pandemic. We haven't been able to perform. So when we were given this chance to make something, they just took with it and ran.
Sharing it with her superintendent, who then got the whole school district involved.
I don't know if you remember me, but I sure remember you.
And then my teachers start to come on, and I'm just like, oh no.
Many of Raina's former educators showing their words of support and encouragement.
We are so proud of you at the middle school, all of your former teachers, and I just want to say, I love you.
They're just so proud of her. They're rooting for her, and the support is here. We love her.
Raina tells me she's humbled by the everlasting impact she's having on others by continuing to be positive.
All of these very kind gestures have motivated me and given me momentum to get through this next challenging part, which is surgery. So I just, from the bottom of my heart, I thank everybody. But I feel better when I'm dancing.
Back out here live in Mount Horeb this morning. She's going to need that continued support here over the coming weeks because her fight is not over yet. Guys, she is set to have surgery next week on April 1st. We told you last week some good news. Doctors can no longer see the visible tumor, so that is some good news, but she still has surgery, so the fight is still going on. So keep that positivity going, and we're going to be dancing along Raina every step of the way.
Josh Brighter always bringing us some positivity in the 608. Much needed on this Monday morning. Josh, thank you very much.
And remember to let Josh know what inspires you in the 608. You can reach out on social media or email him at inthe608@wictv.com to be featured.
6:19 now. Coming up after the break, what a way to make a living, sipping wine. Sipping wine could be your new 9 to 5.
Sounds pretty good. And coming up in our next half hour, just because you're eligible doesn't mean you'll get vaccinated right away. The challenges you may be facing when trying to book an appointment. Stay with us.
With a nursing degree, helping others went from a job to a career.
Cobuson Buses, now hiring.
Working with Cobuson, it's definitely been great because of the flexibility. If you do need time off, they work around you. They definitely try to make it a company that's based for you.
Visit Cobuson.com to apply.
It's a fact. We use our internet and TV more than ever, with most of us spending nearly 7 hours a day online. So it's no wonder thousands of families are switching to Spectrum, because most families have up to 8 connected devices, which means they need even more speed. Switch to Spectrum Internet and get the fastest starting speeds for the price. 200 megabits for just $44.99 a month, with a free modem and free security suite included. Call 833-686-4499. When it comes to TV, we're watching more than ever. In fact, 80% of us watch TV every day. Spectrum TV lets you catch all your favorite sports, news, and more live. Plus, download the free Spectrum TV app and watch on your devices. Switch to Spectrum TV from $44.99 a month. Call 833-686-4499. The fact is, Spectrum has the best services at the best price. Switch to Spectrum Internet and TV from $44.99 a month each with no contracts. We'll even buy out your current contract. Call 833-686-4499.
The cherry on top of your sundae, extra crowd on your brunch, the icing on, well, you know how it goes. There's nothing wrong with making a good thing even better. That's why saving with EdVest, Wisconsin's 529 college savings plan, makes perfect sense. When you open and fund an account, you plan your family's future and get the extra benefit of a Wisconsin tax deduction. Start now. Like seriously, right now at edvest.com. It's so easy, you can even do it as you enjoy your extra cheese pizza.
In the race for Greene County Judge, only one candidate has the experience to keep us safe, Jane Bucher. As an attorney, Jane Bucher is the only candidate with deep courtroom experience handling over 2,300 cases. Jane Bucher is the only candidate to help start a drug court, saving lives and reducing crime. And Jane Bucher is the only candidate endorsed by hundreds of community leaders, judges, and attorneys.
As your judge, I'm prepared to make tough decisions, treat people fairly, and keep Greene County safe and strong.
It's the retirement you deserve with Physicians Mutual, where we help you understand Medicare so you're not in a fog. Flour? Oh, it's that cooking class you always wanted to take.
I love pizza.
And since you'll have the coverage you need, you can enjoy treasured moments with the grandkids like this.
Cool car. Can I ride?
Yeah, in about 50 years.
Physicians Mutual, Physicians Mutual.
Cobuson Buses, now hiring.
After we backed that bus out of its stall and started driving, I just loved it. We really get a chance to get to know each other. Almost everyone has a different story about how they came to bus driving, so you really end up feeling like you're part of a family.
Visit Cobuson.com to apply.
Welcome back. We always ask you to share your morning, and Paula is cheering us up on this Monday. Isn't this a beaut?
She is.
She's a beaut, Clark.
She's pretty. We'd love to see a little barn action in the background. Paula, you know us well. Thanks so much for sharing. What does your morning look like? Use the hashtag MyNews3Mornings. We can find your pictures on social media and share them right around this time every morning. Okay, so if your favorite part of the day is that glass of wine after work, what if having that glass was your work? A winery in Sonoma is offering a job to someone with a passion for wine. The Murphy Good Winery is offering free rent and $10,000 a month for for this one-year position. If you don't know winemaking, no worries. It comes with on-the-job training and even 30 cases of wine. Applicants should send a video resume explaining why this would be their dream job. The winemaker's also interested in your social media following, particularly on Instagram. You can learn more at murphygoodwinery.com. Mr. Reese typing in Murphy Good Winery right now.
I was actually typing in Sonoma. I needed to figure out where I was going to have to relocate to. I can do the weather remotely from the northern Bay Area, San Francisco.
I think we'd allow it as long as you bring back those 30 cases.
30 cases? Yeah, that'll be back.
We have to say, though, no California wine can be nearly as good as a nice local Wollersheim.
I know. Wollersheim, Prairie Fumé, one of my favorite wines.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Always when I go to the store.
That's how you would sign me up for this.
Yep.
Yeah, a Wollersheim position like this. We'll talk to him.
I know. We'll see if they can get one of those on that.
All right, Mr. Reese, is it a wine-sipping kind of a forecast?
It's always a wine-sipping forecast. If it's sunny, sit outside, have a sip. Raining, that's a reason to have a sip. Snowing, yep, you're definitely having a sip. But here's the overall deal as we go through today. No need for the sunglasses, no need for the jacket, but you do need the umbrella. We're going to be cloudy today. A couple of showers are possible, especially moving into the afternoon, especially, though, as we move into Tuesday. Doppler track this morning is all dry, but here's our system developing just back towards the south and west. Already you see a lot of that lightning and thunder starting to be embedded with this. So it also has cold air on the north and western side. We should stay on the southeast side of this overall system. 49 our temperature right now. Winds are out of the south at 7. It's 50 in Janesville this morning. Platteville waking up at 49. Prairie du Chien is waking up at 52. And good morning to all of you guys, 49 in the Dells as well. Here's what happens as we start to plan the day. Temperatures stay fairly steady to where they are right now. We're at 52 by 10, 56 by lunch. Then we warm up to 58, and that's when you see those rain showers starting to move in. Again, folks, now's the time to put into action anything you have to do before the rain arrives.
Thank you very much, Chris. Stay with us, folks. Another half hour of News 3 Now this morning after the break.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
You've heard that an apple a day keeps the doctor away, but you still need to see your dentist because getting good dental care is important to your overall health. You know dental bills can take a big bite out of your budget, especially if you're retired or on Medicare. Even a simple cleaning can cost $200. And other procedures like crowns and root canals can cost hundreds, even thousands more. But affordable dental insurance from Physicians Mutual Insurance Company can help. Give us a call or go online for this free information kit with all the details. This isn't just a discount plan or for checkups only. This is real dental insurance that can help pay for over 350 covered procedures, like cleanings, fillings, crowns, even dentures. There are no deductibles, no annual maximum, and you can see any dentist you like. So don't wait. Call or go to sendinfokit.com to get your free information kit. Call now.
Stop whitening your smile the old-fashioned way with strips and trays that can take 30 minutes to an hour. I'm Jonathan Greenhut, the CEO of Power Swabs. When I met Dr. Ginniker and he introduced me to Power Swabs and I saw how effective they were and how easy they were to use, I knew we had to share it with the world. Power Swabs was clinically studied to whiten natural teeth as well as stained caps, crowns, and veneers. It's so effective, it works on stains caused by coffee, tea, red wine, and even smoking. For those of you who have that one stained tooth that's darker than the rest, Power Swabs can target that area using swab precision.
I really love the fact that you're able to go individually on each tooth and make sure that it's going to be wider.
If you have yellowing between your teeth, if you have coffee or tea stains near your gum line, just snap, swab, and smile. And in each 5-minute application, you'll see whiter teeth. So stop whitening your smile the old-fashioned way with strips and trays that can take 30 minutes to an hour, and start using the Power Swabs 5-minute solution. Just snap, swab, and smile.
After just 7 days, the results were awesome. Power Swabs was easy to use every day, and each day I could see it better and better, and from beginning to end, it's definitely whiter. They look clean, they feel clean, And people have made comments about it, which is nice.
Call for your 5-minute solution to whiter teeth. Order Power Swabs and receive up to 40% off the retail price. And as an added bonus, by ordering in response to this advertisement, get a free Power Swabs Quick Stick pen with your order. The Quick Stick pen is your on-the-go solution to help prevent stains from adhering to your teeth after drinking coffee, tea, or even after smoking. And in addition to saving up to 40% on your purchase and your free Quick Stick pen, get free shipping by ordering now. Dial the number on your screen or visit powerswabs.com today.
2 million more Wisconsinites are now eligible to get a COVID vaccine. But that doesn't mean everyone will actually be able to get an appointment. How Dane County is handling the increased demand.
And some breaking news you're waking up to. The U.S. one step closer to having a 4th approved COVID vaccine. Just how effective AstraZeneca shot is proving to be.
Salt and sand go away. The rain will wash it out today. We're timing this all out and when it arrives for you in the First Warn forecast.
This is News 3 Now this morning.
Weekend's over now. Get back to work, everybody. Thanks for joining us this morning. I'm Chris Stanford.
Thanks for the reminder, Chris. I'm Leah Lynchide. We're glad you're waking up with us. We have some breaking news this morning.
Yeah, we do. AstraZeneca says its COVID vaccine is 79% effective. The group cites advanced trial data from its U.S. study. That includes participants from UW Health. AstraZeneca plans to submit those findings now to the FDA in hopes of getting emergency use authorization. Several countries have recently suspended AstraZeneca's vaccine after a small number of people developed blood clots.
2 million more people are now eligible to get their vaccine here in Wisconsin. Phase 1C allows people with 20 different health conditions to now schedule an appointment. Some of those conditions about to be listed right there on your screen. There they are. The DHS had originally planned to open up appointments next week, but they moved the timeline up last week. Vaccinators say that decision is a sign the state thinks vaccine supplies will get better over the next few weeks. But groups like SSM say they expect up to a 15% decrease in doses this week. That means there will be fewer appointment slots available.
People eligible under the DHS's earlier phases are in an especially tough spot this morning. First responders, grocers, teachers, restaurant workers, and older adults will now essentially be fighting 2 million more people for those appointments that were already hard to come by. To try and prioritize those higher risk groups in 1B, Public Health Madison plans to stay in Phase 1B before it opens up appointments to everyone else. There are a lot of moving pieces to this, a lot of changes to keep track of, and we've made it easy for you. Just use our Channel 3000 app. That'll help you navigate it all. We have a list of newly eligible conditions and instructions on how to get a vaccine through your healthcare provider. It's all up right now, again, on the Channel 3000 app or at channel3000.com.
Take a look at this new video. In overnight, spring breakers defying curfew in Miami Beach. The area has seen days of partying by sometimes unruly spring breakers, many of them adults, not just college students. The city now extending its 8 p.m. curfew for at least another week. So far, the curfew has been pretty hard to enforce. Police even had to call in SWAT teams to help clear crowds on Saturday. The Miami Beach city manager says too many visitors are simply not socially distancing or wearing masks.
Investigators are still working to determine whether they'll classify last week's shootings in Georgia a hate crime. In the meantime, family members of the 8 victims are grieving. Shajie Tan's family says that she was living the American dream. After moving to America, she started as a nail technician before working her way up and buying 2 spas outside of Atlanta. 21-year-old Robert Aaron Long is accused this morning of shooting and killing Tan just 2 days before her 50th birthday. Her only child, Jamie Webb, had plans to meet up with her mom last Sunday, but she overslept. She would never have the opportunity to see her mother again.
When I thought that I have all this time with her, I mean, just because I missed that Sunday meeting with my mom, I thought we can always meet like any Sunday, any other day, just like before. I was just hoping that it was not my mom, it was not my mom.
Webb says her extended family is still in China, and no one has had the heart to tell Webb's grandmother yet. Webb says she understands the Asian American community's overall anxiety about the rise of anti-Asian assaults, but she says the family isn't ready to make that connection to her mother's death just yet.
Anti-Asian crimes in the U.S. have been increasing since the start of the pandemic, but the local AAPI community says attacks like the ones in Atlanta are unfortunately not surprising. Christina Laurie sat down with several local business owners about their experiences with racism in Madison. They all agreed that most of the time they do feel safe here, but they have all experienced racism. Restaurant owner Tori Miller says his most recent experience was last month when he was driving on the city's west side.
He's like, go back to China. And I was like, I'm from Racine. I've had that happen to me more than once in Madison where people tell me to go back to China.
Miller also talked about the disproportionate impact the pandemic has had on their businesses. Christina Laurie is going to talk to these owners more about that topic tonight at 10.
Well, Wisconsin's men's basketball season is over after the round of 32. The Badgers battled as they have all season long, but it just wasn't enough to beat Baylor yesterday. For seniors like Demetric Trice, it was a bittersweet moment.
It was definitely emotional. There was a lot of tears being shed, but we know that this group is going to stick together after this. We're going to hold our heads high. A lot of people doubted us throughout the whole entire season, so we're just going to come out of here and hold our heads high and get ready for the next step in life.
So remember, everyone has another year of eligibility because of COVID, so seniors have a chance to come back. Head coach Greg Gard says he doesn't know which ones will come back and doesn't want to guess.
Now, there's still a lot to celebrate for Wisconsin sports this weekend. The women's hockey team, they are national champions yet again. The game was quite the nail-biter. The team played against #1 seed Northeastern on Saturday, with the Badgers winning in overtime. This is the women's 9th national championship appearance, their 6th title win, and it's technically their 2nd title in a row. The team won the 2019 championship. The 2020 series, of course, was canceled because of the pandemic. And hopefully it's not stopping there. Wisconsin's men's hockey team will get its postseason run started on Friday. The team is the 4th overall seed. The Big Ten champs will face Bemidji State in the first round, and if they win, they'll play the winner of Lake Superior State and Massachusetts. This year's Frozen Four will be in Pittsburgh starting April 8th.
Good luck. Chris Reese now with your First Warn forecast. Hey, Chris.
Hey, grab the Rain-X, folks. The rain is on the way. Your windshield. We'll appreciate it if you haven't done that already. Now, if you wanted to maybe get to the gutters, you didn't have the opportunity to do so this weekend, you still have a decent amount of time before the true heavy rain gets here, but you may be finding a couple of sprinkles. But, folks, we've been talking about it since last week. Heavy rain is on the way. The overall setup right now, we have winds out of the south. That's really funneling in a lot of that moisture that comes all the way down in the Gulf of Mexico. Back towards the west, we have this area, or this cold front rather. It is very slow moving, and then this area of low pressure is going to be riding along that cold front to unzip a lot of that moisture as we get closer to this. Right now, the heaviest shower and thunderstorm activity, that's further towards the south and east, but right there in that last scan, you start to see more of the showers start to break out over parts of northern Missouri. Eventually, we start to see those showers breaking out here in southern Wisconsin too, but Doppler track is all dry for now. You see the cloud cover. Our temperature has fallen to 49 degrees. We may fall another degree or so before we actually start to jump those temperatures back up. We're at 47 in Watertown and Juneau, 50 in Janesville. Good morning to you guys. The Dells are coming in at 50 as well, 49 in Platteville, 52 in Mineral Point. Good morning to everyone all across the board. Temperatures are warmer than they were yesterday as the warmer air comes in with the moisture overall, but we stay cloudy. We're at 56 by noon, and plan your day knowing those rain showers start to arrive by the time we get you towards the afternoon and evening with temperatures into the upper 50s. This is 4 o'clock. You see those showers especially developing back towards the south and west. We see the isolated showers as we move through the overnight hours into early tomorrow, but what I really want to show you is what happens as we move into tomorrow afternoon. This is when the big slug of moisture starts to work its way on through. So your Tuesday afternoon commute, be prepared for the heavy rain. That's why I told you, do the Rain-X today. It gives your whole windshield 24 hours to really be prepared before that heavy rain starts to work its way on in. This is now Tuesday at 11 o'clock. We're still dealing with the showers, the thunderstorms. Here comes the wraparound and some of the cooler air as we start to move into Wednesday and your Thursday. It's going to be cloudy for a couple days, folks. Keep that in mind as well. Rainfall amounts are going to be on the order of 1 to 2 inches of rain as we go through the week. So the good news is this doesn't come our direction all at once. temperatures in general stay in the 50s as we go through that extended forecast. And speaking of 50s, I said it earlier, your Beltline traffic speed is into the mid-50s right now, so that's the way we like to keep it. The interstate in good shape. We are seeing your typical slowdowns on East Washington Avenue headed inbound towards the Capitol. That is with the traffic lights there. Most of Dane County doing great. Same for our friends down in Janesville, Beloit, Milton. All those roads in Rock County are moving along smoothly.
All right, looks good. Thank you, Chris. Students in 4K preschool in the Madison Metro School District will be able to go back to in-person learning tomorrow. And as more students return, health experts like Dr. DeMurray with UW Health say keeping COVID out of the classrooms depends a lot on us.
The most important thing that we can do to keep our schools safe, though, is to keep our communities safe. The more COVID there is in the community, the more is going to filter into the school system. And that's been shown time and time again that the rates in schools highly dependent on rates in the community.
Dr. DeMurray also recommends families continue to avoid large student gatherings outside of school, like a sleepover or a birthday party that your kids might be excited about. Dr. DeMurray says it's best to continue to hold off on those for now.
All month long, our Time for Kids team has been talking about sleep, how much you need and why it's important. But this week, Chris Reese is digging a little deeper into something becoming increasingly common in children. It's pretty scary there, Chris.
Absolutely. It's something that is typically been more and more common among adults, Leah, but lately we're seeing it more and more among kids and teens. Now, what exactly is it? Well, it is a period of time during sleep where breathing becomes irregular or pauses altogether, and it's called sleep apnea. It could be attributed to carrying extra weight at younger ages, at least according to SSM Health pediatrician Dan Beardmore.
You can imagine if there's a lot of weight on the neck, that it's challenging to keep the airways open. Of course, we are seeing more and more teens and adolescents with overweight issues, and so we are starting to see that classic adult sleep apnea at younger and younger ages.
Now, while snoring is often associated with sleep apnea, Beardmore says it's not just snoring to look for, but instead look for a particular type of snoring. It's one that's going to stop suddenly, sometime followed by some choking sounds before a big breath is finally released. Now, when it comes to treating sleep apnea, Beardmore says weight control helps, but weight may not always be the issue. And in those cases, CPAP machines are useful for teens, but treatment becomes a little bit more challenging for the younger kids. For parents who are concerned about their child's breathing, Beardmore says to reach out to your primary care provider. Of course, our Time for Kids Recipe Health team is asking for, we're always asking what you would like to hear about. So let us know what health topics you're interested in and share your family's health story with us online at ssnhealth.com/timeforkids.
Now, we talked about how this is something that's more common in adults. Can you imagine being a parent, though, and having this happen to your child? It sounds terrifying.
I know, and while I can't imagine being a parent, I can imagine being an older brother. My younger brother had sleep apnea years and years ago, and the thing is, he was not overweight. He was very lean, very slender, an athlete at that, but it's just one of the things that he had sleep apnea, but he grew out of it with time. I'm not sure we ever chose a particular treatment for him, but it was scary in the moments.
Great report there. Hey, you're also keeping an eye on the forecast. A little bit of rain in there, huh?
Yes, it is, Leah. And of course, we're going to be tracking that latest in the rainfall amounts, when it arrives, how much you can see, all that good jazz coming up in the First Warn forecast.
And good morning, everyone. I'm Josh Ryder live from Mount Horeb this morning. And in the 608, a follow-up story to Raina Williams, a woman fighting breast cancer from the Mount Horeb area. We're going to share how this community is coming together and dancing along with her when we return.
There are endless ways to see the world. But when it comes to actually getting there and experiencing every soul-changing corner of it, there's only one. The Jeep Cherokee.
Right now, get 0% APR financing for 84 months or $4,750 total cash allowance on select 2021 Jeep Cherokee models.
Menards is your destination for your next home improvement project. Super fast vinyl planks are perfect for every room in your house. They can create a unique look, are waterproof, and are easy to install. Right now, all super fast vinyl plank is 11% off. Complete your bathroom project by checking out our selection of bathtub and shower kits. Right now, all Delta tubs and showers are 11% off at Menards.
Save big money at Menards.
If your credit card debt is out of control, if you're in over your head in monthly payments, there's a secret the credit card companies don't want you to know. If you have more than $10,000 in credit card debt, you have the right to let us settle that debt for a fraction of what you owe. That's bad news for the credit card companies, but it's great news for you. We're Credit Associates, and we're offering free information on how to completely resolve your credit card debt with a monthly payment you can afford, plus a $2,000 money-back guarantee. To see how much you could save, call 1-800-949-9757. Don't declare bankruptcy. Don't consolidate. Give us 10 minutes and we could save you thousands. After all, we depend on your success and offer a $2,000 money-back guarantee. Credit Associates. Live better, debt-free. Find out how easy it is. For the secret the credit card companies don't want you to know, call and see how much money you could save for free. Call 1-800-949-9757.
The fact that group of law officers actually came to my home made a huge difference for me. I felt assured that they would be able to turn things around for me and make me whole. And that's exactly what happened.
I really felt that my case was in the hands of a professional.
And it was a painless process.
Injured? Call Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all. Once you get past the initial shock of what happened, Gruber Law Offices will take it from there.
It's one thing to say you have the most accurate forecast. It's another to prove it, and we've done just that.
First Warn Weather has been certified most accurate here in Madison by WeatherRate, an independent research firm. They study every news station's forecast every day, every year, and determine scientifically which forecasts align with the actual observed conditions.
Only one station came out on top, and that's News 3 Now First Warn Weather.
Trust the First Warn Weather team for your most accurate forecast.
6:45, a follow-up now to a story that went viral a few weeks ago here in the 608. We first introduce you to Mount Horeb native Raina Williams, who's been dancing her way through breast cancer.
Her story has resonated with a lot of you. Josh Breider is live in Mount Horeb this morning with how that community is now giving back to her. Good morning, Josh.
Hey guys, good morning. Mount Horeb will always be home to Raina Williams, who now lives in northern Illinois with her family. And this next story here in the 608 is exactly the reason why. You'll remember our story on Raina Williams from a couple of weeks ago. The 35-year-old is battling triple-negative breast cancer and found dancing as her positive outlet. The Wisconsin native showing off her moves following all of her chemotherapy appointments. Finding inspiration in Raina's story on News 3 Now, Mount Horeb dance coach Channing Liska reached out to me after creating this video in her honor.
Dance is something that we do to make us feel good, and so she was celebrating each of those chemotherapy appointments with dance.
Other school district members joining in on the fun, sending her positive words of love and support as well. Liska says putting this together was the least she could do and sending some encouragement back to the woman who continues to make a positive difference in so many lives.
To be faced with cancer in a year of pandemic, like I can't even imagine. So the fact that she was able to take this and tackle it with such positivity, it's inspirational.
So now Raina's not dancing alone. She's got her hometown right by her side.
All of these very kind gestures have motivated me and given me momentum to get through this next challenging part, which is surgery. So I just, from the bottom of my heart, I thank everybody.
Back out here live in Mount Horeb this morning. She's going to need that support, especially going into next week. She has surgery set for April 1st. We told you last week that she did have some encouraging news. Doctors no longer can see the tumor inside, so there's some good news, but surgery is still yet to come. So we're going to be dancing alongside Raina every step of the way, guys. That fight song gets me every time, and I think she said it exactly right. Those lyrics are perfect for this story.
Well, she is certainly a fighter, and we are certainly pulling for her with her surgery coming up. Josh Breider, live in Mount Horeb this morning. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Josh. Mr. Reese, hoping you have some inspirational news for us in the forecast. Maybe some sun coming?
Eventually. That's the good news, right? It can't stay cloudy forever, but we're cloudy out there this morning. Leah, temperatures are going to be warm as we move into the afternoon. But in the meantime, it is about the rain chances that are going to be on the increase as we head into tomorrow, especially. Right now, we're watching radar. This is not actual rain. What's happening is the radar beams are picking up on that low-level moisture is starting to move into the picture. You see that cloud cover. Temperatures are at 49 this morning, so we are starting things out on a mild note. 50 in Janesville. Boscobel waking up at 52, 50 in Milwaukee, 51 in Kenosha as well. As we look ahead, temperatures may drop another degree towards 48. Then we will warm up. We'll be at 56 by the time we get you towards lunchtime and top out of 58 today. You see the isolated showers overnight, but the widespread rain really starts to work its way in as we move into tomorrow.
All right. Thanks, Chris. Stick around. The morning sprint is coming up after the break.
Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Look Who's 3 is sponsored by Three Bears Resort, Indoor Water Park and Conference Center in Warrens, Wisconsin.
It's time to march into deer season. Get your John Deere 1025R for just $171 per month. Get a John Deere now and
power up at Sloan's.
Visit Sloan Implement today, celebrating 90 years and going strong.
Gobin Cars is breaking into spring with huge savings. You can get a 2016 or 17 Ford Escape starting at $10,995 or $175 per month.
That's right. You can buy a 2016 or 17 Ford Escape only for $10,995 or $175 per month.
Don't miss out on these huge spring deals with over 500 vehicles in stock.
So just hurry in today and ask for my sister, Crystal the Pistol Gobin.
Or my brother, Dealing Donovan Gobin.
You gotta go to Gobin, GobinCars.com.
You wash your cars and clothes and canines. You wash your cars and clothes and canines. You wash your cars and clothes and canines. At the Magic Wash. At the Magic Wash. Whoa.
It takes attention to detail. With your local Bryant dealer, you're getting more than just a technician. You're getting someone who pays attention to your needs and the little things that make a big difference. It takes a dealer you can rely on. And to keep your family cool this summer,
let me show you how this works.
It takes Bryant.
Bryant, whatever it takes.
Breathe easy. Contact AirServe for quality AC repair. Finally, a heating and cooling company you can count on.
Joe knows that harnessing renewable energy today like we're doing leads to a healthier planet tomorrow.
Joe fights for fair wages for working families because he comes from one.
Joe Parisi apoya programas que mantienen a adultos de edad avanzada libres de caídas y seguros en casa.
Thank you, Joe, for all you do for all of us workers.
Gracias, Joe, por considerar a personas de todas las edades.
Thank you, Joe, for believing there's a better, cleaner way to power the county.
Wisconsin is a home of workers. We know what needs to get done, and we do it. Yet, we've been hit hard, some harder than others. Our contact may be limited, but we still can lift each other up. Your local Wisconsin energy and emergency rental assistance providers are working together to keep you safely in your home. You may not ask for it, but we want you to know we're here to help.
It's time to march into deer season. Get your John Deere XUV 500 for just $163 per month. Get a John Deere now and
power up with Sloan.
Visit Sloan Implement today, celebrating 90 years and going strong.
Every day, News 3 Now investigates.
It is 6:52, time for the morning sprint.
2 million more people are now eligible to get a COVID vaccine in Wisconsin. Phase 1C allows people with 20 different health conditions to schedule an appointment. Those include obesity, high blood pressure, asthma, and more. Groups like SSM Health say they expect a 10 to 15% decrease in doses this week, though, which means more people will now be fighting for a very limited number of appointments. As of yesterday, a quarter of Wisconsinites have received at least one dose. We have more on these new eligibility rules up right now on channel3000.com.
We continue to follow breaking news. AstraZeneca says its COVID vaccine is 79% effective. The group cites advanced trial data from its U.S. study, which includes participants from UW Health. AstraZeneca plans to submit the findings to the FDA to try to get emergency use authorization. Several countries have recently suspended AstraZeneca's vaccine after a small number of people developed blood clots.
Cruise ships will once again set sail, just not from any U.S. ports. Royal Caribbean and Celebrity plan to start their trips back up again in June. Their ships will be based in the Bahamas and St. Martin and will visit several different islands. All adults on board will have to be vaccinated. Anyone under 18 must be tested.
We will light candles in memory of all we have lost.
Investigators still working to find a motive behind the shooting at a Roundy's facility in Oconomowoc last week. Meanwhile, friends, family, and coworkers are showing their love and support for the employees killed. Investigators say Frere and Cornelia shot and killed Kevin Cloth and Kevin Schneider inside the distribution center while on the job. Cornelius eventually turned the gun on himself. The company is offering grief counseling to employees.
A deadline to withdraw troops from Afghanistan is coming up in May, but the Biden administration might not comply with it. The Trump administration had reached the withdrawal date with the Taliban, but two top commanders say conditions on the ground right now might not warrant compliance. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin made a surprise visit to the country just yesterday.
People in Australia's most populous state evacuating this morning following the worst flooding there in decades. The New South Wales State Emergency Service responded to 640 calls for help Saturday night, including 66 for flood rescues. Local leaders are calling it a once-in-a-100-year event.
ICE is starting to plan housing some migrant families in hotels in Texas and Arizona. In a statement, the agency director says it signed a nearly $90 million contract with a Texas-based nonprofit to provide the short-term housing. It's expected to provide more than 1,200 beds starting in April. The nonprofit will offer medical screenings, COVID testing, meals, mental health services, and access to lawyers.
Former President Trump plans to make a social media platform of his own. The spokesperson says that the platform is meant to, quote, completely redefine the game. Several social media platforms have banned Trump for inciting violence ahead of the deadly January 6th Capitol riot.
Dr. Anthony Fauci will soon be the subject of a new children's book. Simon & Schuster is putting the finishing touches on Dr. Fauci, How a Boy from Brooklyn Became America's Doctor. The publishing company says the book got his permission and his approval, and they consulted him and his team throughout the process. It's written by Kate Messner, illustrated by Alexandra Bai. It's going to hit bookstores by the end of June.
No need for the sunglasses out there this morning. We have more cloud cover. No need for that jacket either. We are warm. You may want the umbrella, though. We'll see a chance for some showers joining into the mix, especially as we move into this afternoon. Doppler track is all clear for now in Madison, but we're watching the showers of thunderstorms develop to our south and west. Our temperatures dropped to 48 now. We'll start to bounce things back into the 50s as we go through time. In fact, plan your day with temperatures back into the 50s by lunchtime. Rain showers arrive closer to 4 o'clock.
Thank you very much, Mr. Reese, and thanks for joining us on your Monday, folks. Have a great day. We'll see you back here tomorrow.